I talk so often about doing the hard things, right? But in a mathematical sense, right? Doing the things that mathematically, figurative math, make no sense, but we believe they're the right things to do, right? You look at it on paper, and there seems to be no incentive, no motivation, no reason, no justification to do X, right? It seems to totally line up to say you should do Y, but you should do X anyway because it's the right thing to do. We talk about this a lot with racism and ways to try and maybe try and improve upon that. Doing the things that we don't have to do, giving up power, giving up privilege that we have, where it seems like, well, I didn't actually hurt anybody, I didn't do anything for that. There's no reason why I should do that hard thing. Maybe move to a neighborhood that's low income to try and make a difference, show my son a different way of living, whatever it is, right? Doing that hard thing that doesn't seem to make any sense. I talk about that all the time. I find myself now in a position where maybe that's actually coming to play, and I have an opportunity to practice what I preach. We're in a situation now in the middle of the pandemic and COVID and all that, where the vaccine's becoming available. And in New York, where I live, there's a process to register, to see if you're eligible. And one of the comorbidities, I guess, and one of the qualifications, eligibility criteria, is technically high blood pressure. All right, so there's a whole list of things you could have. For example, my wife has an autoimmune disease, so she technically is eligible and should be eligible. She's on immunosuppressant drugs, and everything lines up to where she should be on it. So she's going to get the vaccine. I've had family members, though, say to me, like, hey, you should go get it too. You have high blood pressure, which technically I do. I'm on medication for high blood pressure. I've been on it for, God, I don't even know, 15 years now, because for a long time I was, I guess, overweight technically. I've gotten in much better shape. I'm much healthier now than I've ever been. Truth be told, I probably don't even need to be on blood pressure medication anymore. I don't even think I really have high blood pressure anymore. But technically I do. So technically on paper, if you look at the math, I can go get the vaccine. And you could argue, well, you should go get the vaccine, right? It'll help keep you safe. It'll help protect you. You're not doing anything wrong, legally, whatever, you qualify. You could argue other people are probably doing it, right? There's other people in my position that are getting it, maybe even worse, that are trying to manipulate the system and get the vaccine. You have to protect yourself. You have to protect your family. You can think and imagine all the reasons, the list of all the things on paper where it says, yes, go do X. X is what you should do. You shouldn't even be guilty about it. Just go do it. But there's a part of me that says, this is an opportunity. This is an opportunity to actually do it, to break the cycle, as I always talk about, of people, who's going to step up, right? And in some small way, maybe this is an opportunity for me to do it. Maybe this is an opportunity for me to be the change I want to see in the world. Maybe this is an opportunity to set an example for my son. Maybe this is an opportunity to set an example for myself so that I can build on this and continue to do the things in these situations where it's I know what's right. It may not look like I have to do what's right or I even should do what's right, but I know it and I believe it, so I will do it. Because the thought of me, right, 37 years old, relatively young, healthy, my wife, who's got medical condition, gonna get the vaccine, so she should be covered. My son's young, so again, he should be covered. My other family members who are vulnerable, getting the vaccine. The thought of me getting it just because I can, and potentially somebody else not, who actually really needs it, right? The thought of, which is a real thought. We don't like to think about it. When I said this to one of my family members, they didn't even want to hear it. But there's possibly a 55-year-old out there with heart disease or a lung issue, or a 72-year-old out there, right? Whatever it is, who possibly I'd be taking their vaccine and they have to wait a week longer or 2 weeks longer, or whatever it is, because I got it. And God forbid they get COVID and something terrible happens. That's not the right thing to do in my mind. Right? And none of this is easy. None of this is cut and dry, as I say. I could get it, right? There is a risk. That's the point. If there was no risk in this for me at all, then sure, obviously it's not a hard thing to do. You just do it. Yeah, why not? But in this case, there's a risk. There's the real risk of me getting sick. But there's also, sadly, probably the greater risk, which is the perceptional risk, right? What's my family going to think? What would it look like if I did get it and I did get sick? And how guilty would I feel? Because they would say, see, I told you so, and you should do it this way, right? All those things stack up. And for all those reasons, as well as the ones I said before, the math suggests just do it. It's easy. You can do it. Get the vaccine. Probably everybody else will be fine. You wouldn't even know if you hurt somebody else. Just do it. Just get it done with. But I don't think I can. I don't think the point I'm at in my life, given all the things I talk about in these videos and what I truly believe to be true and to be right and the right approach to take, stepping up, breaking the cycle, doing the right thing when you don't have to, this is an opportunity for me to do that, and I think I need to take it.